I think I'm playing chess, I see a king, I'm at his neck. I'm 3 steps ahead of every move, now that's a check. You big all sus, yeah. I just doubled up on crypto. I just doubled down on the new vest. My chair looking like 2 checks. Type of money made me want to 2-step. Who next?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of MindFlip TV. It's your boy Frank Visionary. So I had some people asking me about my car situation, you know, in the trucks and car payments, insurance, if I still had them all, you know, are they mine? Are they under the company? Are they bought? Are they leased? So right now, I personally have 3 vehicles that are mine. My wife has our new Expedition. It's a Ford Expedition, technically mine as well, but it's my wife's. That's not here, we're not gonna show it today, but we're gonna start with my baby. So my pride and joy, end of 2014, that was a birthday present for myself. It's a 2015 Ford F-150 Sport. It does have some modifications over the years, so I just wanted to dive in, show it off. We're gonna talk about the payment, we're gonna talk about the insurance I pay for it. Is it a bought, is it a lease? This is the nicest vehicle I ever had for the time. So I was, as we've talked a little bit about, those of you that are following, you know, I ended up losing everything back in 08, 2010, started working my growth, things like that, went through a few vehicles, but this was my pride and joy. I wanted this for a long time. Finally able to get my hands on it. It was a birthday present to myself, end of 2014. Again, it is a 2015, so it was brand new. I did buy this. This is not a lease. For the time, again, it was a special edition, so it's sport mode. It has a center console, it has a center shift. It is 4x4, and then we do have quite a few upgrades that we've done to it. So, all right guys. So you hear the exhaust, but there's a little more to that. So we did add the AFE power intake manifold. We put blow-off valves on the truck, so you can hear there's twin turbo. You'll come to see as we're talking more. I love turbos. 20x12s. Red dirt roads. It's wrapped in BF Goodrich. I have stretched tire look, so I didn't want that beefy wrapping over the tire and rim. I wanted it to be like a stretched tire. It does have a front level, no suspension, so I didn't have to add a lift kit. We just cut a few things and I got my turning radius cleared and it looks nice and clean. You'll notice also the full LED kit. So we have LED upgrade all across the front, the fogs, all that's LED. See if you can hear the blow-off valves. There you go. So you might be able to catch that. I'm hoping you're catching it well. So it is a 4-inch exhaust system, all black cat back all the way through. All right guys, so you heard the revs, you heard the blow-off valves, all that good stuff. You heard the exhaust, but I want to show you what exactly it is. So we added the MBPR. I believe it's a 4-inch all the way straight back. So it's mandrel bent. It's an awesome system, cost effective, but I love the way it was black. It offset with my vehicle. So yeah, you'll see it, thick pipe. And if you follow, I mean, it's all the way up to the front, which is what's giving us that beastie sound. You'll notice again, LED upgrades in the back. The entire system has it. So when I started the company, I didn't have any other vehicle. We didn't have box trucks. We didn't have any of that stuff. And I was towing a big trailer. This truck really didn't do a good job with pulling the trailer at all. My back end dipped so hard. We did a trip out to Utah, delivering a full load in the blizzard, pretty wild. So I learned from that one where I needed air ride. So we went ahead and added this airlift suspension kit. It's for the rear. So again, I keep overstepping myself where I said it doesn't have suspension. Well, I lied because it doesn't have the lift or anything, 6-inch, none of that, but I did have to add air ride. So you'll notice on the back kit here, there's actually bags in the back, which I can lift up. We can go pretty darn high. You'll see it goes all the way to 100. We're gonna go from where it's bottomed out. Now you'll start hearing this bag start going up. So this, guys, it's not the fastest system, but it works well. It's really helped a lot with our towing capacity and things like that. You'll notice now how big this pretty much is a lift now. You know, this back end pretty much has a 6-inch lift on it, where you'll notice my front end's dipped now. We're, you know, raked. But once I throw a big load in the back right here, this thing ends up kind of bottoming out slightly and it looks nice and flush. And then I have the adjustments from 0 to 100 to come up and down. So again, just a recommended kit for anybody with this truck that has the similar issue, airlift. But then, like I said, we're at 100 right now. we bring it back down. You'll see that bag just start deflating. And then slowly but surely, we come back to standard ride height. Don't use it when we don't need to. Sometimes we have heavy pallets. You guys will see here, we got 1,000-pound pallets. I got 600-pound pallets, and some of these guys ride in the back of this truck when we're doing runs. So this kit honestly does us wonders. But yeah, that's really all there is as far as my upgrades go with this truck. This one will be leaving the fleet soon. I should say by April we get rid of it, and you guys will see by the end of the year the new addition. So stay tuned on that. So this guy's going. New guys coming, but let's talk about the payment. I was bouncing back off of a BK. Remember, it takes a little bit, which we'll dive into later, how to recover off of those, credit situation, all that good stuff. And I got approved for this guy, and my payment on a buy, not a lease, so 5-year term. I didn't put a down payment. I do that pretty often actually with my vehicles. Try to put as minimal down as possible, but it's $616 a month, guys. And then the insurance on it, probably $150. So then we're gonna jump over to the next vehicle. I bought this guy in January of 2019. So I got this and I fell in love with it because I was actually going to get an F-250. I was not a Dodge person, not a Ram person. I was like loyal to Ford for the longest time. I had the Flexes. I went through like 3 of those. Expedition, we got the F-150. Focus. I mean, I've had so many Fords over the past 5 years, it's been ridiculous. The way it happened is I took my Ford F-150 in for service because I was having issues because of that trailer thing I was telling you guys about. And let me tell you a mistake not to do in business, guys. Don't put your customer in a competitor's product. So anyways, they put me in a brand new Laramie Ram 1500, not a 2500, but a 1500. And let me tell you, when I jumped in that thing and drove that for the week while they were fixing my F-150, I was blown away and impressed because prior to that, the only impression I had of a Ram was my grandpa's 1997 Ram 1500, and that thing was a piece of shit. And I was never gonna drive a Ram. So Ford puts me into a Ram 1500 Laramie, brand new, gorgeous. The interior is amazing, everything on it was flawless. And so I pretty much made a quick decision and said, well, I'm not getting an F-250 anymore, guys. I'm getting a Ram. It is turbo diesel Cummins, so it's a monster. It has 800 foot-pounds of torque. It has about 350 horsepower. By all means, it's not the fastest guy on the block, but it will pull just about anything you could think of, which was impressed the hell out of me for business. You know, so thank you to Ford for putting me in the Ram. You guys put me on, but now we have 2 actually. So I went. Not only did I buy the first one, which is mine. This one is a Laramie edition. So it does come with leather, it comes with navigation, it pretty much has just about all the bells and whistles. Not too many upgrades on this truck. You guys obviously see the wrap, so I don't gotta point it out. But the only thing I really did right away was just add wheels. So I bought some Hostile 20x12s. They're negative 44 offset, so we do have the pretty wide, beefy look. I didn't, again, have to add, this one doesn't have front level, this one doesn't have anything, to be quite honest. This one, I strapped up wheels, I put stretch tire, I went with some Falcon Wild Peaks and cut a few plastic pieces and they fit, you know, so they are 33s, they're not 35s, and I added running boards. That's pretty much about it for this guy. It was out the door, ready to rock and roll. So I bought this in January, end of January, went and bought a second one. So I fell in love with this truck quickly. It impressed the hell out of me, how it performs, how it pulls. They're money makers, man. Money makers, let me tell you. So looking at the payment, where people ask, what's the payment? How'd you do it? How do you get them? In all honesty, if it wasn't for the fact that they make me quite a bit of money and pay for themselves, I wouldn't have bought this one. I wouldn't have bought the next one. So you gotta think beyond just what you see of, oh, somebody's driving a bunch of vehicles and they have a bunch of trucks and this and that. Some people out there, I'm sure, yes, they just have a fleet and it's their car collection and beautiful. That's great. Mine's more toys, but also money makers. So it's a little of both, you know what I mean? I have it available to me if I wanna go to the sand, if I wanna go camping, I wanna go do whatever I need to do, pick up my Christmas tree, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, I have them. Really, the fact that they pay themselves off, they make me money. The payment on this honestly is irrelevant. I'm gonna tell you what it is, but it's irrelevant. I do a damn good job with negotiations. I ended up walking out the door with $75,000 truck for about 63. I did put a down payment on this one, but I only put 2,500. So 2,500 down, which is minimal. It's about tax and license. And my payment on this guy is $997. I have this a buy, not a lease. Reason why, again, for me is I put a lot of miles. We bought this thing in January of 2019. and I have 37,000 miles on this one. So a lease would not work for me. So you gotta look at things as investments, you know, instead of it's just, well, what's the bill for that? How do you have so many cars? And how do you do this? And why do you do that? It's more looking at, well, how much money will this make me in the long term? Is that $997 payment gonna affect me, or will it actually bring us more business, which these did? Insurance on this guy, now I have multiple vehicles and I actually have an umbrella policy. Because of the fact that I have all these vehicles and they're all under my insurance policy, I get a discount. My insurance for all of them now is about 600 bucks. That's it, guys. That's it for this one. Next car we have, guys, is we're gonna dive straight into, and that is my Mercedes S63 AMG. Man, this is my baby. This is my pride and joy. This is all the work, all the struggle, all the heartache and sleepless nights, long hours, and let me tell you, frustration. The list goes on of things we dealt with to get to this point to be able to afford something like this. 600 horsepower, it's all-wheel drive. This is a twin-turbo V8. Pretty much stock except for the upgrades I did, which I added the carbon fiber package. And then with the carbon fiber package, it still didn't have a couple additions that I did want to put on. This is a monster. And when I first test drove it, guys, let me tell you, blown away. I knew about AMG, but I just knew the big body S-Class was boss, you know what I mean? So I wanted one, but when I test drove this, the all-wheel drive, I've never felt comfort like that. Like this thing, to put that amount of power to the wheels, it's ridiculous. That really quickly made my decision of, you know, the Lambo's out, the Ferrari's out, and then I had some that like, but it's just a Mercedes. No, guys, it's not just a Mercedes. Like this, by all means, it's not just an S-Class. Like this thing is a hand-built masterpiece. It made number 9 of 20 for fastest sedan in the US right now. That's something to be impressed about, as well as the level of quality, craftsmanship, and luxury and comfort. So I bought a special edition. You'll see the carbon fiber work here. So there's carbon fiber work all underneath the hood. It is signed. It came with the carbon fiber lip with the package. My mirrors over here, they're all carbon fibered. We blacked out all the trim levels. I was pretty specific in the way I wanted my lip to look. I custom got this made, so it's for my car. And then we added this piece, which is a rear visor panel. And again, I custom made this piece. This comes with the carbon fiber package. The only other thing that I'm gonna do to this car is going to be my lowering kit. The other touch that it comes with carbon fiber wise is gonna be the little side marks, as well as all the touches to the trim level. All carbon fiber here across the entire dash panel. Everybody wants to know payment. That was probably the biggest question. Like, what's the payment on that car? Don't let the sticker justify what you're gonna pay for it. First off, every car you buy, guys, always negotiate. Every dealer out there, I don't give a damn who it is, they will negotiate with you. And if they're not at a point where they negotiate where you're comfortable with, walk out the door. I've had to do that many times, and let me tell you how many times I get called back. That happened with this car. And what was special about it is this color AMG, with the package that I wanted, it is the only one right now in California. So this is the only one in California that you'll find like this. So ticket on this guy, when you walk up and see it, it's about 157,000. Then you got to look at tax and license. On a car like this, I mean, you're looking at what, 7% of that. So it's a pretty hefty tax and license fee for a car like this. You're looking at the carbon fiber package that was added to it. That was honestly a $10,000 package. I literally only dropped 2,500, which, yeah, I did that. It is a buy. Reason again for me is I do a lot of miles. It is my daily. This is something that I wanted for a long time, and I fell in love with it so much that I knew I wasn't gonna wanna turn this back in 2 years, 3 years. I'm gonna do some modifications. This is gonna be in my little car collection. Like, this will be a keeper for me. You know, I want a 6-car collection, and this is gonna be one of them because this is the one that really stepped into the 6-figure realm. Out the door, $1,650 a month, guys. All of my vehicles are buys. The only lease I do have is my Expedition. My wife's Expedition is a lease because that's our family vehicle, and we love to get new ones about every 2 years. So anybody that's like that, like me, where you get tired of a vehicle, your family's growing, you don't do a lot of mileage, you know, a lot of different factors, go lease. You know what I mean? You can get a beautiful car that fits you, fits your family for a cheaper price with a lesser down payment, and you have a give back. You know what I mean? You're able to just bring it back and get another one. You know, everybody thinks differently. Some people say, oh, it's a waste of money, it's a throwaway of money. Really, it's perception, guys, perception. You know what I mean? If you find that as a waste of money, then hey, by all means, so be it. I am the type of person where I do appreciate and love vehicles. I'm very much gonna make sure that I'm always in something nice, and my wife as well, and my family. That's it for my vehicles, guys. That's what I got, and I hope you guys do appreciate and enjoy it. This is strictly because I was asked by, honestly, a handful of people that were curious. They want to know payment, they want to know insurance, they want to know what I had, if I had it, and you know, buys, lease. When you're out there buying, guys, you guys see this one, but remember, I had a lot of vehicles before that they weren't my luxury vehicle, they weren't my comfort vehicle. This isn't a moneymaker, this is all joy. But prior to that, I'm having things that are investments, guys. I'm buying trucks that are being used for freight. They're being used for the company. They're being used for things. You don't even have to have a company, guys, but think outside the box in ways that you can utilize your vehicle to help make you some money. There's an app out there called Toro, guys, where you literally can rent out your vehicle, your personal vehicle, to people that need it. It's new. A lot of you guys may not have heard about it yet, but this vehicle right here will go on Toro soon, and this will pay for itself. So as crazy as that sounds, technology is a motherfucker, because you could do so much these days. So when I'm always pitching guys this phone, guys, money maker all day. I bankroll with this thing. You know what I mean? Oh, somebody will rent this car for $500 a day? Wow. That was, ooh, MindFlip, right? MindFlip. Like, you got to think about these things, guys. Don't think of, oh, I don't want them to drive my car. Oh, I don't want them to wear and tear. I don't want to put mileage. It's a goddamn car, guys. Like, who cares? You're gonna get back in it and enjoy it. You have insurance. I hope you have warranties. Think beyond the, I want this just because. No, guys, no. There's a bigger picture. Yes, you want it, but what can you do with it? How can you leverage off it? How can you do something more than just drive it? There's more to the picture. Frank Visionary, MindFlip TV.
Space. Elon Musk. Streams got my Q4 looking nice. VR clutch.